You are Locked On Heat Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fans? Welcome to your Heat Postcast. My name is Jim Greasehaber. Call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S, and I am here to tell you that your shorthanded Miami Heat made you proud tonight. If you did not watch this game, I don't know what's all over my microphone, cat hair or something. If you did not get a chance to watch this game, you missed a good one. If you did not get a chance to watch this game, you missed everything that defines the Miami Heat culture. If you did not get the chance to watch this game, you missed some players who don't get a chance to play a lot. Most of the time, balling out when they got the opportunity tonight. We said it last night, injuries create opportunities, and a lot of players have taken advantage of that for Miami this week with 4 starters out tonight. Count them, 4, including All-Star Tyler Herro and Andrew Wiggins, a one-time All-Star, the centerpiece of the Jimmy Butler trade, right? So, yeah, 4 starters out. So what does that mean? It means a big night from Bam, and it means a close game in Cleveland against the East-leading Cavs, who actually clinched a playoff spot tonight, winning their 12th straight game. 110-107, Cleveland the win, but a nice effort by Miami, and so many reasons to be proud of this team. And I'm not kidding, so many reasons to be proud of this team. The effort was there every bit of the game tonight, from tip to tip or tip to horn, whatever, final horn. It was unbelievable tonight, actually, what they were able to do with this team. And it was patchwork with all these guys out, and we are going to go through this right now, right? Let's talk about a game of inches. Let's start there. And again, 110-107 is the final. And yeah, it was absolutely down to the wire. The Heat with a 10-0 run and a great job by the Heat with a 10-0 run to end the third quarter. And they were up. They outscored the Cavs 11-7 in the first 6 minutes of the fourth. And they were up by 8 points in the fourth quarter. And man, oh man, the Cavaliers did what they do. They cranked up the pace, the intensity, but Miami forcing 2 late turnovers and really doing a great job defensively to give themselves a chance. And at the very end of the game, it didn't work out. But the chance that they gave themselves was pretty awesome. I mean, so I'm just going to lay it out for you right here, okay? And it's in the play-by-play just to make sure I got this right. It's the fourth quarter, very end of the game, right? And Miami had battled back and fought back the whole night. I almost said bought back. The whole night. I mean, look, they were up and then they're down and then they're up and then they're down. And then all of a sudden, late you start feeling it slip away. It's Cleveland takes the lead, but man, Highsmith makes the jumper to give Miami the lead at 2:55 to make it 107-106 Miami. And then Mobley right back for Cleveland. They take the ball out of the net and they get down so quickly. They got the 2 towers, right, as well. And then they got the star and Donovan Mitchell along with Garland, who's been great this year. DeAndre Hunter, a nice addition for them, makes it 110-107. And so to me, here's the thing, right? There's 18.1 seconds left in the game, okay? 18.1. Miami has the ball on the sideline, okay? I'm on the sideline. My back's to the sideline, right? I'm this way. The basket's that way, okay? So you're just past half court, right? Here's half court. Duncan Robinson. Not Duncan Robinson, excuse me. Who was taking the ball in? I can't remember who was bringing the ball in, but whoever was bringing the ball in, and I can't remember who was throwing the inbounds, but it almost doesn't matter at this point. But I think it might have been Burks, but Highsmith, maybe one of those guys. But anyway, forced to call a timeout, couldn't get it in. Maybe it was Anderson, now that I think about it. He missed a bad reverse, too. I'm not sure what I feel about him, Anderson. But honestly, they had the ball with a chance right there. It's 110-107. They can't get the ball in, they call a timeout. Okay, that happens, Grease. What's the big deal, dude? All right, I'll tell you what the big deal is. It was their last timeout. So what does that mean? Not only do you have no more timeouts with 18 seconds left in the game, you also have no challenges, all right? So you have no challenge. You can't challenge anything. Okay, so what happens in this challenge-happy crap league that it is, you can't challenge when you're out of timeouts, so you're not able to do it. What happens? They call timeout. Then they come back out, 18.1 left. They throw the ball a beautiful couple stagger screens. They throw the ball all the way across the court to Duncan Robinson, who had curled up from under. He ran down through the lane, curled out, back to that right side on the wing, and literally almost wide open, caught a beautiful pass, comes down, shoots the 3 that ties the game. But, oh my God, there's a whistle. What was the whistle? Blow the whistle. blow the whistle. Man, Duncan Robinson came down with his heel out of bounds. Maybe the ESPN didn't show us a good enough replay that was conclusive, all right? But they didn't have to, and here's why. Because the Heat had just burned their last time out because they couldn't get the ball in bounds. Very, very upsetting. As upsetting as the brick and the air ball that Terry Rozier threw up from three when he had a chance late in the game to make things happen with 1:38 left. Just hasn't been able to shoot the three this year. Earlier in the fourth quarter, back-to-back turnovers from Rozier trying to do this between the legs and behind the back at the top of the key. Back-to-back turnovers, man. Back-to-back. It's not a Drake song. It's ridiculous, man. This is Terry Rozier. He can't hit a three to save his life. He can't. And I know I'm positive, right? I'm positive on this team. I am not positive on Terry Rozier. He cannot get out of here fast enough. He cannot get out of here fast enough. I repeat one more time, Terry Rozier, get him a plane ticket. Get him a plane ticket and get him out of here. He can't hit anything from three, okay? His quickness down the lane, his dribble drives, yeah, but if he's turning the ball over at the top of the key, you know what I mean? And I hate to be so tough on him, but, dude, he's just not producing. He's scoring 24 a game when the Heat got him. And now look at him. He's doing, to quote Conor McGregor, nuttin'. He's doing nuttin' for this team right now. And, you know, he's had double-digit points, but you know what I mean? A starting guard at his position in the NBA is going to get double digits, you know, and just by virtue of the number of shots that you have to take in a game to play the game itself with the 24-second shot clock. But what really happened here is Duncan steps out of bounds and they turn it over. Cleveland wins the game. That's it. It's that simple. Game over. Doesn't matter whatever happened after that because the game is over. You have no more timeouts. You can't stop the clock. And you couldn't even challenge. And I think Duncan's heel was out anyway, which he wasn't even looking. And, you know, you're right there and you've run that play a million times. You just have to trust yourself as an athlete. It's hard to look down in that moment behind you. He jumped way up in the air to get the pass, and it carried him back a little bit, and he came down with that heel, and it is what it is. But, man, this overshadowed a brilliant game from Bam Adebayo. Bam was the man tonight. Bam, the man, absolutely just wrecking ish all night long for Bam Adebayo. And shout out to Kevin Love, by the way. He played 16 minutes tonight and scored 10 points, grabbed 6 rebounds. K-Love, you know, it reminds me of the old adage, right? I'm not the man I once was, but I can be the man I was once. All right? So there you have it. And Kevin Love has been doing it since he's been playing, and he's had to play lately. And I think really down the stretch, this will pay dividends. You know, Pelle Larsson, a little different than the other night. This is the number 1 team in the East, right? But he got 12 minutes in the game tonight. Anderson played 26 minutes. That's 25 or 26 too many, if you ask me. I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of him. I just don't. Maybe he'll do great in practice. I don't know, help the team a lot, but I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the way he plays. I'm not a fan of you have a dunk and you have a defender coming behind you and you try to get cute and go up with a reverse. Just throw that shit down, man. Just do it, you know? And I don't understand why he did not do that. But, yeah, it's crazy when you think about it. And it happens when you're playing full speed, right? In the NBA, you're playing full speed. You're going balls to the wall. And it's absolutely a breakneck pace. Things are going to happen. Reactions, human. That's why ball fakes still work, even though, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You're human. You're going to have reactions. Gravity is going to take over, things like that. But Bam Adebayo with an amazing game tonight for Miami. A season-best game for Bam. He had 34, 12, and 5. This is the Bam, and the 34 is more. But this is the type of game we were seeing from Bam, although with the scoring in the low 20s, maybe high teens, when Jimmy Butler was here. And with no Wiggins right now, and remember, they're still learning how to play together, and all this time that Wiggins has missed from practice now, and Wiggins still out, and you know, Khalil Ware still out of for Miami, and, you know, Davion Mitchell was out last night, Tyler Herro out tonight. And look, Khalil Ware didn't even make the trip, and who am I missing? Khalil Ware, Tyler Herro, and let's see, Davion Mitchell was back after missing last night. But Khalil Ware and Tyler Herro was an illness. Tyler was an illness, and Khalil Ware had the banged-up knee. But the injury, where'd the injured players go? Where are they? Where did they go? Oh, my Lord, they're gone. They changed the game cast as you go. I mean, look at what Miami did, though, without these players in the game. And obviously you have Jaquez and Jovic is still out with a broken hand. Jaquez, I'm trying to figure out where they got the 4 starters from. It's Wiggins, and it's Herro, and it's Ware. Yeah, the other 2 starters are Mitchell and Bam, and they played. So ESPN had it wrong on the telecast tonight, but, it is what it is. But Ware with the knee sprain, Wiggins the ankle sprain, Jaquez the ankle sprain, Jovic the broken hand, but Bam with the big-time game tonight. And, Duncan Robinson hit that shot. He hit it. His heel hit the ground, but he hit that shot, and he's hit some big ones lately. So if Terry Rozier can please, God, help Terry Rozier, because this dude is really good when he plays well. And if he can get that game back, and then you have, Wiggins getting healthy and Jovic coming back at the right time. Again, this is a team no one wants to see. Cleveland's the number one team in the East. They barely scraped out of there with the victory tonight, and it was 112-107, not 110. I apologize for that. Missed those 2 free throws at the end, and, we're up against the clock at the end of it, and I'll replace this after. But you're up against the clock, and you're getting everything done in real time, and and you still have to write the YouTube description after. But it's a lot of fun every day coming your way, day in and day out. You everydayers know this. This team is going to be dangerous at the end of the year. So I pose you a question, and you can come on in the chat and answer it. Would you rather have Jimmy Butler or Andrew Wiggins on this team right now? Everything included in that conversation, not 2020 Jimmy or even 2023 Jimmy. I'm talking about the 2 years in a row with the knee. I'm talking about all the injuries this year. I'm talking about the petulance and the baby mindset that he had. So 112-107, the final. Excuse me. For some reason, I got stuck on 110. This is your Heat Postcast, Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm going to switch that score out for you in a moment, but we have your box score coming up, your team stats, your stars of the game, your turning point, your final score graphic, and a look ahead, you get the Wolves, one of the top teams from the West, on Friday. Hey, look, you're 29-32. You're right in that play-in area. So this team is not going to go on a prolonged losing streak. This team might not go on a prolonged win streak. But what I expect the Heat to do is finish over 500 and make it out of the play-in. I don't know. I still think they can. They got to get healthy fast. I told you a couple of nights ago after that game, and they should have beaten the Knicks on Sunday night. They should have beaten the Knicks on Sunday night. That was a big one. That was a huge – they'd be 30-31. That was a huge one. With Cat out, they had to win that game, and they didn't. So the Knicks without Cat beat you. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. You had to win that game, and you didn't win it. But the injuries have hit at a bad time, and – you're going. But I got to get to a break. It's Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, 112-107. Cleveland gets the win tonight. I get to tell you about our friends at Open Phone. Running a small business means you're wearing a lot of hats. Maybe I shouldn't have worn so many. My grandparents tried to warn me. You're going to go bald. But maybe you're wearing a lot of hats, right? Your personal phone becomes your business phone. And before you know it, you're juggling customer calls all day, all night. As your team grows, it becomes impossible to manage everything with just your personal number. That's where Open Phone comes in. It's the #1 business phone system designed to help you keep your work and personal life separate. For just $15 a month, the cost of a few coffees, I don't know where they're getting these coffees, that's like 2 where I live, you get complete transparency and visibility into everything happening with your business phone number. Open Phone works through an app on your phone or computer and integrates with tools like HubSpot and hundreds of others. It also uses AI-powered call transcripts and summaries, so you'll have a rundown of your calls and action items the second you hang up. It's dope, trust me. And if you miss a call, this is great. No problem. Automated messages sent directly to your customer, ensuring you never miss an opportunity to engage. Right now, Open Phone is offering 20% off your first 6 months when you go to openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's OPENPHONE. Openphone.com/LockedOnNBA for 20% off 6 months. Openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. And if you have existing numbers with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Man, you got to love that, right? These deals we bring you from these amazing companies every single day on the show. It's Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Jim Greasehaber called me. Grease, I don't know if I can get in the studio right now. I am trying. I have to change out this score graphic because it was 112-107, and I want to make sure. All right, the mic and the cam there because you get the echo. Oh, there it is. Hold on. There we go. And boom, there we go. So I am going to get this uploaded for you. Un momento, por favor. And I really might have to do it after the show. I'm trying my best here. But 112-107 was the final, and I think I can get it right now. Boom. You know, it's the new world, right? We got to do all these things. All of us who used to think it was easy until all this new stuff's coming, right? It's crazy. And I love every second of it. So wait a second there. We got this, and I would like to... There we go. All right. I don't know why that had been up there, but you got rid of my face, and that's a plus, right? I think that's a plus. I'm going to download this and then upload it in a second. But 112-107, the Cavs hit the free throws at the end, too. So that was where that came from. And I really, I thought Miami was going to win this game. I mean, Bam was, like, on fire, bro. Bam was, like, legit. Bam was legit just running things. Bam was, like, going between the legs at the top of the key, going by dudes, going to the rack. Bam was, like, literally not just that. Bam was hitting deep shots. He hit a three. He'd go between the legs, and he faked right from the top of the key and then did a step back, long two, straight away, bang, nothing but the net. Like, Bam was hitting everything tonight. He was really shooting the ball well. Really shooting it well. And that's something that, you know, I think as Bam continues to evolve and grow as an offensive player, you're seeing more and more of this. Like, it's dope. It's really awesome the way Bam's been doing this. You know what I mean? So he was doing this when Jimmy was here. He was doing this regularly toward the end of Jimmy's run in Miami. There you go, 112-107. So Jimmy was facilitating this for Bam, right? And it helped a lot. And with Wiggins, a different type of player, different role, Bam had to adjust his game. And it just makes it even more remarkable what LeBron's done with Luka since Luka's arrived, and how he's just adjusted his game instantly like that. Swiss Army knife of a basketball game for LeBron James. Not as easy for everybody else, especially a guy like Bam. And he's going against the Towers tonight, putting up 34. So a great job by Bam Adebayo and the Miami Heat tonight, just playing as a group, staying focused. I mean, you had a lot of guys out. Donovan Mitchell scored 26 for Cleveland. Darius Garland, 10 assists, 12 wins in a row. They make the playoffs, clinch a playoff berth, the earliest they've ever done it in Cleveland. They got speed, they got shooting, they got bigs, they got everything. And I don't think they're going to win it. I think Boston's going to be the better team coming out of the East. But again, if you're just joining me, Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Gries, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Give me a follow, make you holla. You know what I'm saying? But 112-107, the final score tonight. Duncan Robinson's foot goes out of bounds, his heel, and the Heat had no timeouts to challenge. With just under 17 seconds left, he hits a three to tie the game. Now, come on, Cleveland had the ball with 15 seconds. That could be 3 more possessions. I'm not saying it was the game winner, but it is. It is a game of inches. There's no doubt there. And wow, it's how about the Celtics? Peyton Pritchard and Derek White score 40 points apiece. Brown and Tatum, man, we don't need those guys. Holiday, Horford, Porzingis. I mean, they're just loaded in Beantown. And I'm working with a Boston guy this weekend. Can't wait for Gresh. We're doing a UFC show on ESPN Radio. 112-107, the final. Bam 34. Tyler Herro out tonight with the illness. Jaquez, Jovic, Wiggins. Yeah. Kel'el Ware, all out. You know, I mean, and the Cavs are the number 1 team in the East. And one thing Spo did in the second half, and you're thinking about a 10-0 run at the end of the third into the fourth quarter. They outscored the Cavs by 2 or 3 in the first 6 minutes of the fourth. Bam's 32nd double-double. He's got 223 now all-time after breaking Cycli, the record he shared with Cycli the other night. The turnovers, the bad shots, the bad decisions, breakneck pace, you're going to get them. You're going to get them, and it is what it is. That's what the Heat were doing. That's how they're playing. You're forcing them. You're committing them. You have to hope you force more than you commit and score more off the forces that you force, you know, the turnovers that you force. So it is what it is. But, you know, Rozier back-to-back missed threes at 138, and the second one was an air ball from the left wing. I mean, literally, shoot the ball or get out. You know, you gotta make the three. Terry Rozier has not hit threes at all. It's been a bad year. Mark Jones said it on the telecast. He said, look, it's been a struggle to fit in Miami this year for Terry Rozier. And that's a great way to put it, because he hasn't hit his threes, and that's a big part of his job. And I'm amazed he's still here, to be honest with you, but that's not my call, and he's still capable. And if they can get him going off the bench to be that microwave, that spark, that plug, everything, man, oh man, that would be great. So they burn the final timeout. They can't even challenge Duncan falling out of bounds because they couldn't get it in at 18 seconds. So they had an inbounds. They couldn't do it. They couldn't get it in. They had to burn their final timeout. So then when Duncan catches that ball, goes backwards, hits the three, maybe his heel's on the line. Maybe it isn't. I happen to think it was. But, hey, if you had the timeout, you could have burned it and challenged there. And who knows, maybe like the angles that ESPN showed us from the rafters, maybe they just weren't close enough. 12 straight W for Cleveland. They clinched the playoff spot earlier than ever. And your Miami Heat lose again. And a game they should have won. They should have won Sunday at home against the Knicks. They could have won this one. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, don't get you anywhere. But with 3 starters out, sorry, ESPN. They said 4 all night. It's 3. 3 starters out and all those players missing. Just a yeoman-like valiant effort from this team tonight. You are watching Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day. Jim Greasehaber, Call Me Grease, still to come. Box score, team stats, stars of the game, turning point, final score graphic, and get you ready for the Wolves on Friday. Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, free wherever you get your podcasts and here on YouTube. Yep, you got it, as well as the newsletter. Your Locked On Heat podcast has a newsletter, LockedOnDaily.com, for your ultimate Heat and NBA coverage. Jim Greasehaber, Call Me Grease, Gries, @JimGrease_ on social media. One more segment, Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. And I have a question for you, Heat fan. I mean, these games are gut-wrenching, right, in and of themselves, but sometimes we need a hug. Sometimes we need support. So who is in your support system? We all need people to lean on, and whether it's friends, family, mentors, professionals, even the strongest leaders and athletes know that asking for help makes them better. Therapy is one of the best ways to build a strong support system. It's not just for tough times. It helps with setting boundaries, developing coping skills, and becoming the best version of yourself. Learning to ask for help. I've seen firsthand how valuable it is to have a support system that keeps you grounded and motivated. Shout out to all my squad, my tribe, my fam. Therapy isn't just about crisis moments. It's a tool for self-improvement, stress management, navigating life's challenges, which are always there, right? It's convenient, it's accessible. BetterHelp is fully online, making it easier than ever to connect with a licensed therapist from anywhere. With over 30,000 professionals available, you can find the right fit and switch anytime at no extra cost. What are you waiting for? Build your support system with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA. All right, Jim Greasehaber, Call Me Grease, 112-107. It should be 3 starters out. I drank the ESPN Kool-Aid. Come on, guys. You got to be better than that. Mitchell and Bam are starters, just in case you were wondering which 2 were there. So Bam balled out tonight, 34 points, 15 rebounds, 5 assists. I have Cavs win streak over. It's still in there. It's not. It's at 12. It's amazing the things you catch as you're building things, as games are on the verge of completing and you're running around. But you get the picture, right? It was 112-107, and Cleveland just played a tremendous game tonight. All right, let's hit Miami did, without those guys. Cleveland played okay. Let's go through the box. All right, K-Love got the start again tonight. 3 of 8, 1 of 4 from 3, had 10 points, 6 rebounds in 16 minutes for Kevin Love. Bam Adebayo, huge night for Bam. Might he be one of the stars? I mean, come on, really? 34 points, 12 rebounds, 5 assists for Bam, 11 of 18 from the floor. And how about this? 3 of 5 from 3 for the Capitan. Davion Mitchell, 9 points, 7 assists, 5 points for Alec Burks. Rozier with 12, 1 of 8 from 3, 3 of 14 from the... Come on! 3 of 14 and 1 of 8. And then he's hugging everybody after the game. You should have run off the floor and hidden your face after another game like that. All right, Duncan Robinson, 5 of 10 and 4 of 8, 14 points for Duncan. Haywood Highsmith, 5 of 9, 1 of 3, 13 points off the bench. Nice job from him. If Rozier would have hit anything, they would have won tonight. Larson, 3 points in 12 minutes. Johnson, Herro, Christopher, and Stevens didn't play. Johnson, Christopher, and Stevens don't ever dress. They were there because Ware wasn't there, Wiggins wasn't there, and Jovic wasn't there. And I'm not sure if Jaquez was there or not, but he wasn't dressed if he was. So all those guys out, will they be back on Friday? I'd like to think Wiggins will be. I'd like to think Jaquez will be. And certainly Tyler Herro should be. A couple of days to feel better from that illness. You got the Wolves coming in. You're getting to that point. You're in March. You don't have many games in April. You got to crank it up now, and they are. The intensity's there. They're playing great. Spo had that half-court zone, rocking it. I mean, they really played the number one seed in the East well tonight. If I'm Spo after that game in the locker room, look, I say, guys, don't worry about the turnovers. Don't worry about the misses. Don't worry about the sloppy play at times because you caused more of it than what you committed. And it's going to happen at times. Yeah, we want to take it back. Yeah, we wish we could have that one play where Dunk's foot hit the line. But, hey, we're an inch away from being tied with 15 seconds left with the number one team in the East on the road. And don't forget, the Heat had already beaten them once this year in the opening game between the two teams. So now they're 1-2 against them. This team plays Cleveland well. That's what I'm saying. You see them in the playoffs. Cleveland's going to be in for a fight. So even if you don't knock them out, you might wear them down. All right, let's talk about Cleveland, shall we? I know. Mobley, 7 of 10, 16 points, 13 rebounds for Mobley. Allen, 4 points, 8 rebounds. Man, those towers, relentless. Makes even more impressive what Bam did tonight against these towers from Cleveland. Darius Garland, 15 points, 10 assists on 5 of 12 shooting. Donovan Mitchell, the spider. Boom, spider bitten, right? Bam. Wow. Donovan Mitchell, 8 of 17, 4 of 11, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 26 points, but he had 2 turnovers down the stretch. Strus, the old heater, 11 points for him, 3 of 7 from 3 on the bench. Hunter had 16 and Jerome had 12 for Cleveland. Looking at the team stats for the Cavaliers and the Heat, Miami 36 of 83, 43.4%. Cleveland 41 of 87, 47.1. Three-pointers, 13 of 36 for Miami, 14 of 40 for Cleveland. Free throws, Miami 22 of 25, Cleveland 16 of 22. The Heat 88% from the line tonight. Nice job there. Rebounds 47-42 Cleveland. Assists 29-26 Miami. Turnovers 14-13. Miami had 1 more. Steals even at 7. Blocks 4-2 Cleveland. What else do we have here? Fast break points 18-13 Cleveland. Points in paint 54-40 Cleveland. Fouls 19 apiece. Largest lead 17 Cleveland, 7 Miami. The Cavs were favored by 13.5 with a total of 220.5, and of course the total does not hit, so that's a bummer. Even if you bet the over on this game, you're crazy and you deserve to lose it. Just my opinion. But with all those players, come on, Tyler Herro's out too. You can't bet the over on this game. And then, if you bet Miami, and that was a smart play, shout out Lee Sterling, Locked On Gaming. But 112-107 the final, and of course they covered. So in a minute, we're going to give you the stars of the game, the turning point, the final score graphic, and get you ready for the Wolves game. We're almost out of here. Want to remind you, day in and day out, Locked On Heat podcast. After the games, right here, Heat Postcast. This week on Friday, I'm starting a new segment on Locked On Canes with Alex Dono. Shout out to Alex, okay? Locked On Canes. As we get ready for a great football season coming your way in Coral Gables, I'll be doing the postcast after the football games coming up this season. Alex and I starting another segment where every Friday I'll be on Locked On Canes, and that'll be a lot of fun for the two of us to do that. And I'm really excited for it. But end of the day, it's just about the content. The numbers keep spiking for the network. By the way, while you're here, hit that subscribe, smash the bell, come on in, chat anytime you want. But the numbers, we did 9.9 million in a day a couple of weeks ago. So they're going through the roof. We're doing collabs, crossovers. Some of us, some of the other guys that I work with on the Miami teams are a little busy or they don't want to do it or whatever. But Alex has been great with that. And we'll see, maybe down the stretch, the Heat guys will want to do something and maybe we can work something out with the Dolphins guy this year. But we are starting a new show, a Dolphins roundtable that I'll be hosting. I'll be the host of, and it's supposed to start in February or March, but we're looking at the second quarter now for that one. So I'm pumped for that and a couple other things in the works. But 112-107, you lose. It was a breakneck pace, guys that you don't normally see, and that has something to do with it, right? Cleveland's preparing for a Heat team, and then you're playing against players that you don't normally play against, and you wouldn't even think that you're going to be playing against, and you don't know these guys, and there's no scouting report on them, and it is what it is. But, I mean, just to say that Rozier and Anderson were the two guys to me that looked like they didn't belong out there tonight. And every time they touched the ball, I'm just going, no, God, please. Rozier, because he can't shoot anymore. I don't know what happened to him. And Anderson, because I don't know. I just am not. He just doesn't look like he's not a guy that I want to root for. And he doesn't seem to make the right play. I mean, going up for a dunk and you go under the rim for a reverse. I don't understand, man. And Kevin Love got a standing ovation in Cleveland, by the way, which was dope. They have title aspirations this year. He won one with him, with LeBron and those guys. So K-Love going to be a factor down the stretch. These other guys down the stretch going to be exciting. And, you have the injured guys coming back, and it can't come soon enough. All right, real quick, let's hit these graphics that you know and love. First things first, the final score. There it is again, 112-107 at Cleveland Cavaliers. All right. So there you have it. And we'll just get rid of that one. The moment that happened in the game tonight, Duncan Robinson steps out of bounds before hitting the game-tying three with under 20 seconds left. It really was about 16, maybe 17. 17.1, they have it officially. 17.1 is when his heel went out of bounds. And, of course, that's an older picture of Dunk from earlier in the game, but it was very close. He went up and caught it, and I'm showing you. He went up and caught the pass like this, full extension. It carried him back a little. He had cut down the lane, straight down, curled out to the right on the wing, and, yeah, it just didn't work on that play. But a great job by Dunk nonetheless to make it happen, and so even though it didn't work out, man, that's a tough loss. But, even then there were 17 seconds left in the Cavs. It could be a 3-possession game at that point. All right, stars of the game. First things first for the Cavs, the Spider, Donovan Mitchell, 27 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists for him. A couple of turnovers down the stretch, but what a star he is. What a leader he is. What a player he is. And Davion Mitchell wears the same number as him, one of his guys. So there you have it. But a great job by Donovan Mitchell, the Spider, as always. And then, yeah, come on. Big Bam, 34 points. And a big night for Bam. 12 rebounds, 5 assists for Bam as well. And, just a tremendous night for the Capitan, but not tremendous enough as the Heat fall 112-107 to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, Gries. Want to remind you that we are free wherever you get your podcasts. That means Stitcher. That means Podbean. Obviously, right? Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, you name it. Free here on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami, as well as... You down with OTT? Yeah, you know me. Roku, over-the-top television. You'll get that there as well. So you get to see all this, or you can choose not to and get the audio version. Either way, we're cool with it. We appreciate you. We love you. You're the best part of this whole entire network and why we do what we do. One more thing I want to remind you, Locked On Dolphins, Locked On Canes, Locked On Heat, Locked On Marlins. Keep checking those out. And the postcast for every team hosted by yours truly. And one more thing, the Locked On Heat newsletter. Every single day, Heat and NBA coverage in your inbox, lockedondaily.com. It's free. Everything's free on this network, man. We just throwing stuff away, giving it to you because that's how we roll. And tonight, the Heat rolled into Cleveland, and they almost got the dub. 112-107 Cleveland, but Duncan Robinson tied it with a 3. One problem, his heel was out of bounds as he shot, or right before he shot the ball. So that was that, and Miami lost the game. 112-107. We'll be back on Friday. Let's see what time that game is on Friday. You ain't got no job. You ain't got ish to do, but come on back here for the Timberwolves at the Heat. That'll be an 8 o'clock tip. It'll be a late show that night, about 10:30 on a Friday. Maybe you'll be coming home. Maybe you'll just have met that nice special someone out on the town or gone out with your special someone or your boys or your girls or whoever, and you come on home and you're just in time for your Heat postcast right here on the Locked On Podcast Network, free on YouTube, free on Roku, and wherever you get your podcasts. And, of course, the 35-29 Timberwolves, who have struggled without Karl Anthony Towns. The trade for Julius Randle has not worked out at all for Minnesota. All right, but they come to Miami on Friday. Then you got the Bulls and Hornets and Clippers back-to-back-to-back. Chance to make some noise, get back to 500, maybe above before the Celtics. But then you got the Grizz. Everybody beats the Grizz. Not really. The Grizz are pretty good this year. John Moran, I'm on my Grizzly. That's a J. Cole song. And then you got at the Knicks. Then you got the Pistons coming in. You got the Rockets, the Hornets again, the Dubs. You got some tough games coming up. You got some winnable ones. If they can go 500 the rest of the way, they'll be in. Couple games over, I think they'll get out of that play-in, and I'd love to see them do that. Just like I love to see you here every day, no matter what. You everydayers, you newbies, all y'all. I love all of you, and I love our sponsors. Thanks to all of them. Everybody at the network. David Locke for making this happen. I love when Joe Rogan does it at the UFC interviews. Without him, none of this is possible. Thank you, David Locke. Thank you, Locked On Podcast Network. And thank you, the best part of what we do, for watching Heat Postcast on your Wednesday. Jim Greasehaber, call me Grease, 112-107. The Heat fall at Cleveland back Friday around 10:30 Eastern with your postcast. Until then, Miami, keep your game tight and your mind right, baby.